And Indiana has done it. Their first ever Commissioner's Cup championship, knocking off the Minnesota Lynx. This is Howard setting up McDonald, knocking down the tray. Finds a cutting McDonald, easy dude.
You're not going to believe what just went down with the Indiana Fever. No Caitlin Clark, no backup from veteran star DeWanna Bonner, and they were up against the most terrifying team in the league. Everyone thought they were cooked. The Minnesota Lynx, stacked, confident, and led by MVP favorite Nafisa Collier, were expected to walk away with the Commissioner's Cup like it was nothing. But what happened next? Nobody saw it coming. The Fever came alive. Kelsey Mitchell, Aaliyah Boston, and Natasha Howard lit up the court with a level of heart and fire no one expected. It wasn't just a win, it was a straight-up statement. That game flipped the entire script. And what Caitlin Clark said afterward? Just 6 words. But they hit different. 6 words that showed why this moment matters more than any trophy. If you're riding with the Fever, drop a comment. I've got the Fever. Let's get into it. Picture this. The Indiana Fever step into the Target Center for their very first Commissioner's Cup final, and their whole lineup feels like it's falling apart. Caitlin Clark, the face of the team, the one dragging them forward all season, is nowhere near the court. 3rd game in a row. Still stuck on the bench with a groin injury that just won't go away. But this isn't just any player sitting out. This is their top scorer, their playmaker, the reason arenas across America are sold out. And now, she's watching from the sidelines.
With Caitlin and her status, just how did she look? How did she feel today during shoot-around? And is she making progress and getting closer playing?
She's making progress. You know, I think, again, top of mind, I think I told you this afternoon, is just long-term. You know, making sure that we don't have any setbacks. You know, making progress and feeling good are 2 different things. And we want to make sure that she feels good. We want to make sure that she's confident. We want to make sure that we're not putting her in a position to have any setbacks. And that's the priority right now.
But that wasn't the only blow the Fever were taking. Damaris Dantas, gone. Thousands of miles away, playing in the FIBA AmeriCup. Another key piece missing. Another hole in a team already stretched thin. It was like the universe was daring the Fever to collapse. But guess what?
Listo. Hey, Fever, good luck. I miss you.
And then came the DeWanna Bonner shocker, a veteran. Brought in during the offseason to bring leadership and experience. You'd think she'd be the one holding the team together, right? Instead, she walked away. After just 9 games, she gave up. The Fever waived her. That's not just leaving, that's turning your back when your team needs you the most.
DeWanna Bonner was brought in for leadership. She was brought in for leadership. And do you want to know all that these young players learned from her? If things don't go your way, refuse to show up. Continue to get paid a max contract while you are sitting out, refusing to play.
She got benched. She couldn't handle it. I want out. She's not playing well. She's getting criticized. I want out.
Now let's talk about who they were up against. The Minnesota Lynx weren't just strong. They were straight up unstoppable. With a 14-win, 1-loss record, they were the best team in the WNBA, defending Commissioner's Cup champs, playing at home, with MVP frontrunner Nafisa Collier ready to dominate. The arena was packed, loud. That crowd came to see a repeat, not a fight. Vegas? They had Minnesota winning by 14 points. 14. Before the ball even dropped, people were already calling it over. Analysts said it would be a blowout. Some even questioned why Indiana was allowed on the same court, especially with their top stars missing.
You know, and the way that they're playing, I don't know if different is the word as much as they look even more connected. You know, they're a team that was connected a year ago. But really the nuance of having each other's back on the defensive end, of knowing where your teammate's going to be, you know, discipline to coverages, the connectivity that they have on the offensive end of the floor. I mean, the way that they move with and without the ball, the way that the ball moves makes it really tough to cover. You know, I often say that offense is like a dance, and they are flowing, man. They are.
This is where it really hurt for the Fever. This was supposed to be their moment. Their first ever Commissioner's Cup final, a chance to make history. But everything that could go wrong did. The players who were left, they knew the spotlight was burning on them. Critics were lined up just waiting for them to choke. It felt like a setup, like David walking into battle against Goliath. Only this time, David's slingshot was broken, and half his team had already bailed. Now here's where it got ugly. Without Caitlin Clark, the Fever didn't even look like the same team. They had dropped 3 of their last 5 games before the Commissioner's Cup final. And the worst part? They blew big leads, games they should have won. Their offense? Sluggish. The fast pace that made them dangerous? Gone. Ball movement? Completely vanished. Guys stopped trusting each other. No teamwork. Just one-on-one, hero mode basketball. You could see it falling apart in real time. Wide open teammates ignored. Forced contested shots instead of smart plays. This wasn't the exciting, fiery Fever team fans had fallen in love with. This felt like a team losing its soul.
This is your first season with this batch of players, and so I'm just wondering if the Commissioner's Cup is just a stepping stone for greater things to come.
Well, I hope so. But at the same time, we want to take care of business now, right? That we want to win a cup. So we're not looking at it necessarily as a stepping stone. We're looking at it as an opportunity to win. And then we're looking at it, as coaches, as an opportunity to continue to stack days. We haven't had a lot of consistency in our lineup. And so we haven't really built that camaraderie and connectedness that we need in order for us to be successful. But we can take another step towards growth, another step towards consistency on the floor, in execution, in energy level. We're playing the best team in the league right now.
Now let's talk about Aaliyah Boston, one of the Fever's biggest weapons. But she couldn't even get the ball. Boston's a beast in the paint. Give her the ball in her spots and she owns the court. But her teammates weren't feeding her. She'd get position, call for it, and then nothing. Instead, guards were jacking up tough shots from deep. You could see the frustration building on her face. And here's the truth. Without Caitlin Clark, the whole offense fell apart. Clark wasn't just dropping dimes and buckets. She was the brain, the one making it all flow. Without her, it was chaos. The identity? Gone. The rhythm? Dead. And other teams noticed. They stopped worrying about Caitlin. Now all their focus was on locking down Kelsey Mitchell and Aaliyah Boston, with no one left to punish them for it.
Some of the keys that you see as to how exactly you're going to do that, or what you guys need to do to approach the game successfully?
Yeah, I think we've got to be disruptive. We've got to make sure that we play with a level of physicality that doesn't allow them to just pass the ball around where everywhere that they want to pass it. So we've got to make sure that we're disruptive. We got to make sure that we're elite at our on-ball screen defense. This is a team that reads really well, that moves really well. We got to be elite at the point of attack on on-ball screen defense. We've got to. We always talk about guarding our yard, being able to guard one-on-one so we're not in rotation early. I think for us, it's going to have to start on the defensive end of the floor so that allows us to get out and run in transition as well. But we can't allow them to just do exactly what they want to do on the offensive end.
This Commissioner's Cup game, it turned into a moment of truth for the entire team. Could they survive without their superstar? Could they get back to the teamwork and flow that made them dangerous in the first place? It wasn't just about winning. It was about proving they still had a heart, a pulse, a reason to believe. And that's exactly why what happened next was nothing short of unbelievable.
Head coach Stephanie White has a motto. She says, pressure is a privilege. You came into the former champion's house and took them down on their home floor. How does it feel to bring Indiana their first championship?
It feels great. We knew that we had to come in here with energy. We know that they're a great team and they were going to go on runs. And so for us, it was about containing those runs and then going on our own.
What happened next? Straight up chills. The Indiana Fever made a choice. They weren't going to fold. They were going to write their own story. From the very first tip-off, you could see it in their eyes. This wasn't the same team that had been falling apart without Clark. They came out swinging, locked in, fired up. This one, it was for their injured star, and they were going to fight like hell to make sure she felt it.
What gave you the confidence to come in here and take down this team on their home floor?
We knew we were capable. God has equipped us. And so for us, about coming in here and doing what we know what to do. I think the entire game, coach just continued to instill that confidence, continue to tell us take it one possession at a time, and we did that.
The game plan was obviously to wall off the paint against you and Tosh, but both of you guys finished with double-doubles. How did you guys get freed up? And for you especially, how'd you get going late in this game?
It started with Tosh. Tosh, that entire first half and even that entire game, just really took it to them, made them have to guard. And so with her attacking from different angles, they had to space out a little bit. And that fourth quarter, I was able to score.
And finally, Aaliyah, what are you going to do with your prize money?
That's what we got. Boom!
Congratulations, lady.
Kelsey Mitchell stepped up and stole the spotlight. When the pressure hit, she didn't flinch. She took over. Early in the first quarter, she drove straight at the Lynx defense fearless. Then she started heating up from deep, draining threes like clockwork, hitting 41% from beyond the arc. Her release was so fast, Minnesota couldn't even react. They tried to stop her and failed. And the best part? She wasn't forcing a thing, just playing her game and playing it flawlessly.
Corrals it out to Cunningham in the corner. Got the three. Indiana on top.
Now this is where it gets really good. Aaliyah Boston finally started getting the ball where she needed it, and she went off. She dropped a monster double-double, 12 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists, and she did it while going head-to-head with all-star Nafisa Collier. Every time she touched the ball, you could see her confidence growing. After the game, she owned the moment with one powerful message. Everyone is important. I think everyone really played their role. We really handled that fourth quarter. And then came Natasha Howard, out of nowhere with an MVP-level explosion. 16 points, 12 boards, 4 assists, 2 steals. She didn't just show up, she changed the whole game and walked away with Commissioner's Cup MVP.
Howard. Finds it cutting McDonald, easy deuce.
Beautiful read by Natasha Howard. And Ari McDonald, that opened up the three-point shot.
Howard to steal. Open floor in front of her. Got the lay. Indiana battling.
This crowd is quiet. Natasha Howard is a former Defensive Player of the Year, knows the ball is coming to Nafisa Collier, just gets that deflection, gets going in the open court. And it is all Indiana in terms of the momentum in this game right now.
She went 8 for 8 from the free throw line. Ice in her veins. Didn't flinch once under pressure. But it wasn't just her offense. Natasha Howard locked in on defense too. She matched up with Nafisa Collier and made life miserable for her, forcing 5 turnovers, contesting every shot, never backing down. Her performance? Absolutely dominant. Exactly when the Fever needed it most. This win wasn't just a game. It was a statement. The Indiana Fever didn't fold. They fought back. No Caitlin Clark, no excuses. Just grit, heart, and fearless basketball. And Caitlin, watching it all from the bench, summed it up perfectly with 6 words. This is what team basketball means. That moment right there, that's what makes champions. Not just talent, but trust. Not just star power, but unity. So if you felt this win, if it gave you chills like it did us, drop a comment. I've got the fever. Hit like, subscribe, and ring that bell because the Indiana Fever just rewrote their story. And this is only the beginning.